Buying a home is often described as being the biggest purchase you will ever make in your life. Unsurprisingly then, many purchasers are looking for ways to save money when they do so. There are a few ways to save money when buying a property. For example, you could go direct to your bank for your mortgage, skipping broker fees, but resulting in paying thousands more over the life of your mortgage. Or perhaps using that rock-bottom price solicitor who drags their heels and ultimately allows the entire chain to collapse, losing you your dream home and costing others thousands of pounds in legal fees. Some purchasers will see commissioning a home survey as a totally unnecessary cost. What could possibly go wrong? After all, the insurance company will pick up the tab if something goes wrong, won't they? Won't they? I'm Tim Clarke, a Chartered Building Surveyor and Managing Director of Harris & Clarke Chartered Surveyors. And in this video, I will be exploring the risks of skipping a home survey. We've all seen those property programmes on TV, haven't we, where a hapless purchaser buys a property only to find that once they move in, they are saddled with thousands of pounds worth of repairs to make the building safe to live in. We aren't talking about squeaky hinges or a leaking waste pipe under the kitchen sink here. They found rotten joists, lintels that have given up, and foundations that simply are inadequate for that extension that was built in 1994. In almost all circumstances, these problems could have been avoided if the purchaser had commissioned a home survey by a qualified and competent building surveyor. It's easy for a layperson to inspect a property during an estate agent accompanied viewing to see a shiny new interior and newly painted walls, but sometimes an expert can see the same property and see thousands of pounds of outstanding remedial work. In the last few years, I've seen multiple properties where a developer has done a tartan turn refurbishment, where they have made the property look polished and modern, while ignoring maintenance basics such as repointing or renewing aging flat roofs. In one case, it looked as though the new central heating system had been installed by somebody that had read about pipes in a book. Once, a long time ago. If defects are found, this doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't purchase a property, but it does give you the option to pass cost liability onto the vendor by renegotiating the purchase price or insisting that they complete repairs at their cost prior to exchange. Of course, not every property has hidden major defects. Defects may be as simple as poorly adjusted doors or blown double glazing panes. The survey could perhaps flag up non-conformities with current building regulations relating to safety, such as large gaps in balustrading. Knowing these issues are in situ allows you to consider what is most important to you. After all, the vendor might have lived with minor niggles for years, and if you're laid back, you might decide that these things are unimportant to you. Perhaps you're a competent DIYer and have the skill set and time to deal with these issues yourself, or your lifestyle means that young children won't visit the property, so you're not fussed about those gaps in the balustrading. Many vendors believe that a surveyor won't find anything wrong with their property. This was the case with the starter home in Hampshire I looked at recently, which had significant hidden damp issues. Perhaps not surprisingly, while the purchaser was disappointed, I will be looking at an alternative property for them shortly. Some purchasers believe that expensive building repairs can be dealt with under home insurance. This may occasionally be the case, but the majority of defects found are relating to the lack of maintenance, which automatically means they won't be covered. If, for example, you suffer from water ingress as a result of water coming through the chimney, or because the pointing between ridge tiles is degraded, the insurance company will more likely than not consider the remedial work to be maintenance. Depending on your policy, they might pick up the cost of internal redecoration and repair for knock-on effects, but you should certainly check this with your insurance broker. These types of outstanding repairs are very common and will cost hundreds or thousands of pounds to complete. Why take the gamble when you could commission a home survey and pass the cost of repairs onto the vendor? The bottom line is, if building damage arises because of lack of maintenance or something is worn out, this is not an insurable risk. If you're looking to save money when making a property purchase because you simply don't have the money to pay for a survey, you really have to ask yourself what you would do if faced with a £1,000 repair bill. What about £5,000 or even 10? You get the picture. While I am clearly biased, skipping your home survey can be a significant gamble and could even compromise your financial future if you are already stretched. If you're not normally a gambler, but are considering purchasing a property without commissioning a survey, our friendly team of surveyors will be glad to discuss common risks with the type of property you plan to purchase and consider your current financial situation. They can be reached on 023 8155 0051. We always have to be pragmatic, and so if we have a prospective client who is sat on the fence, we'll help them to consider their options. While we would love everyone to have a survey, occasionally we discuss options with somebody who has money tucked away, buying a low-risk property, who may be more comfortable gambling with the prospect of losing thousands of pounds to save on the cost of a survey. More often than not though, once they understand the risks, they ask us to take a look. If you don't fit this profile, the chances are you would be better off with a survey.